right, Pack. Give me your review of the game and the good and the bad.
So basically, I thought the story was awesome. I thought, obviously, the graphics was great, and then the music I loved as well because I love Jason Graves.
Yes.
And the voice acting. Here's something that a lot of people don't really seem to want to say for whatever reason. The voice acting kicked Naughty Dog's butt. Like, the performances and the voice acting and everything was so much better even than Naughty Dog's games, dude. You know, and something that I was talking about earlier with Left Behind, people know I didn't like Left Behind.
Yeah.
But I love the main game, I just didn't like Left Behind. And in Left Behind, it was such a boring game to me because it was so much pointless exploring, pointless conversations with the other characters, and in The Order, people bash the game for the exploring, which makes absolutely no sense whatsoever. Now, yeah, I can understand the artifacts and stuff like that, not being able to read them that well or whatever.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, the game was all about exploration, getting sucked into that world, and then I thought the QuickTime events perfectly meshed with, moving the story forward.
Yes.
On top of that, I love the combat. I love the gunplay. That made me wish that it had a multiplayer because it was so good.
Yeah.
And by the end of it, you saw all the pointless complaints people had about wanting co-op in the game. You saw that co-op does not fit in this game. The story is it turns out totally different from what you would expect it to be when you've just seen previews of the game and stuff like that. So overall, I love the story. I love the gunplay. I'd give it overall. You've noticed I haven't really mentioned much about the graphics.
Yeah.
And the graphics are excellent. So overall, I'd give it an 8.8 out of 10. I absolutely loved it, and I can't wait for the sequel. And I think it ended perfectly setting up a sequel. I can't wait to see what happens. Oh, and one more thing I forgot to say.
Yeah.
I love the black bars. It really made it feel like a movie.
Yes, it did. I don't have no problem with the black bars at all, Pack. I thought it did what it was supposed to do. It gave you a cinematic experience the way the game was. It didn't impair my vision from seeing the enemies at all.
And that's one of the dumbest complaints people had, was impairing the vision of the enemies, because it has a mechanic to peek out and over cover.
Yes, that's the thing that I was so happy about with the cover system. Like, you can peek out, you don't have to fully go out and put your body out there and aim. You can peek and duck around the object that you're covered behind. I thought that was brilliantly done, the way they did it, Pack, where you can just poke the gun out, not too far out, and you can shoot.
Yeah.
But my review for it, Pack, the story. I'm gonna start with the story first. I thought, like my man Star Sanity said, it was Batman versus Harvey Dent at the end.
Yeah.
That's what it was.
I love the way it left off.
That ending right there, man. It was like the Dark Knight that was willing to kill to go after justice, that didn't have any type of, because Batman has a moral code that he won't crack, and I thought Sir Galahad was like Batman in the medieval times.
Yeah.
He didn't have a moral code. He was just, if you're breaking the law or anything, I'm going after you.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Galahad's like my new favorite PlayStation character, or Grayson, because as he said at the end, he's not Galahad.
Yeah. And I thought, for the reviewers to say that the game has no gameplay, it's
I know, dude.
That tells me, one, you ran through the game.
They wanted it to fail from the get-go.
Yeah, they ran through the game, or you just watched somebody else play, or you just happened to put a Blu-ray movie of medieval times, and you thought you were playing a game. I mean, it's so asinine. It has gameplay, like.
I think the thing about the gameplay is that when you get into those combat situations, it takes forever to get
Yes, especially the part in the beginning, early part in the beginning of the game, when you had to go through the brothel, and then you ran into those wave of enemies, and you had to switch through guns, and then if that bullet ran, I mean, it was a ton of enemies coming at you, man. That was a ton of enemies, man.
And I love the different weapons that they had. I wish that you would have been able to use the science weapons a bit more.
Yeah.
But overall, like, and the thing is, people keep complaining, like, saying that the story isn't as good or whatever. I thought the story was amazing, dude. And then the part when there's that huge plot twist with I forgot his name, the guy that turns out to be something that you didn't expect.
The counselor guy. Damn, it's his name.
Lord Hastings.
Yeah, Lord Hastings. Yeah.
Yeah, that part, I could not wait to see what was going to happen next. It was similar to the end of The Last of Us when you don't know what Joel's going to do.
Yeah.
Like, that's how I felt at that point. I was like, what's going to happen next? You know?
I mean, the story to me was done perfectly because it did what it was supposed to do. It kept you investigating to see what was going on with the Order. Why was there so much corruption?
And the thing is, they didn't throw in unnecessary swear words all the time.
Yeah.
You know?
And I don't think
that's pretty much how I feel about it.
The way I feel about it, Peck, the reason I gave it an 8.9 is because I thought it did what it was supposed to do. It was a fun shooter, and I thought the QuickTime events, and I think Star pointed out to me, it was done differently. Like, you had the option, okay, do I slice him in his head or do I slice him in his chest? Because I don't think I've really seen games do that with the QuickTime events, where they give you an option of how you want to attack.
One more thing, correct. Oh yeah, this was it. I liked the melee in the Order a lot. I thought it was really nice.
Yeah, that to me, I thought the way they did the melee was similar to the way they did Uncharted 1, but they did it better in its first, in its first installment. Even though it's like one button you press, some of those animations are just so satisfying. I don't mind pressing that one button. The way he just fucks them up and slams them in their head, or punch them in the balls, uppercuts them in the balls, or uppercuts them again. Like, there were some good melee animations with those, when you had to press triangle.
Anyway, that's pretty much all I have to say about it.
Yeah, I thought it was a good game, man. Like, the hate that it's getting, I think it's not, it doesn't deserve none of that hate. It's just a bunch of bullshit, man.
I agree.
The reviewers that said they gave it a 4, you completely are a fucking idiot, because games that are broken get 4s and 5s. This game wasn't broken. It played perfectly. I rarely ran into a glitch. I only ran into one glitch, and that's when I was trying to jump into a window, and so Galahad jumped back out the window.
Yeah.
So the game ran perfectly, Pack. I give it an 8.9. Great story. I can't wait for the sequel, man.
Same here.
All right. Thanks for the help, Pack.
No problemo. Thanks for having me on.
All right.